Hello everyone, this is Elliott Serrano and Jose Melendez coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. Thank you for joining us yet again for another series of segments, our comic conversations here on the Comic Culture Warrior YouTube channel. And for those of you who are wondering, why is Elliott wearing a hat? He never wears a hat except for the last time I wore the hat. I'm not trying to be a fashion palette or plate or whatever you call it. I've just got terrible hat head right now. And, I'm wearing a hat because I got hat head.
At least you're not going to be one of those jerk-offs on the other, vodcasts who are wearing Santa hats. Because you know that there are going to be some.
Dude, yeah. Okay. I was this close to bringing us elf hats.
Yeah, and guess what? There wouldn't have been any.
I know. I had someone suggest that. They said, "Why don't you wear elf hats?" And I said
that?
I won't mention. I don't want to get into names and all that. But anyway, I told them that you would say no fucking way. You would go no fucking. That's you would look at it and say no way.
That's a nice answer.
Yeah, that's a nice answer. But anyway, we are in the middle of doing our year in review, where we're talking about some of the things that we really liked in our last segment. We talked about Dark Horse and Image Comics, and now we're going to move on to the big two, as if they really need more publicity. But
some of these books do, and that's why a few of these were canceled.
Yeah, namely The Order, which is a book that you told me. Mm-hmm. Was one of your favorite books.
Lasted a whole, 10 issues.
10 issues, and there was a lot going on around this book in that...
it was the beginning of the initiative.
The beginning of the initiative. They wanted to call it the Champions, but then there was that whole thing about the copyright surrounding the name and the game and so on. And then Matt Fraction is brought on the book with Barry Kitson. Top-notch art, top-notch writing... Mm-hmm. The book doesn't sell for some reason, and I'm wondering if it's because they didn't call it Champions. You know, if the book had been called Champions, do you think it would have sold? Do you think people would have gone onto that? Because when you see The Order, you know what I thought of when I heard The Order? I thought of that old Kurt Busiek miniseries when it came out a few years back, where you had Doctor Strange, the Hulk, and all that. Remember, it was essentially the Defenders.
Yeah.
Where Kurt Busiek was saying the Defenders were like the most powerful. They could take on anybody in the Marvel Universe, and in that miniseries, they actually do take over the Marvel Universe. I think maybe people were thinking about that. But the book only lasted so long, and then the book got canceled.
And there's 2 trades out collecting the entire thing.
And then Matt Fraction came out and said, well, he intended the book to end at a certain time.
And that's just Matt Fraction, I think, just being, a very nice guy, company guy.
Big company guy,
This is the way I planned it, but it has so much potential, and, man, what a waste of a book. I mean, that's right up there with Next Wave.
Yeah.
With
Next Wave's another one. Yeah.
Way too early, just because people don't know shit from.
Well, Next Wave sold well. I guess it all came down to.
It did sell good.
It sold. It all came down to making it worth Stuart Imonen's and Warren Ellis's time to put the book together, which unfortunately Marvel didn't feel like they had to.
I'm sure Stuart Imonen's getting paid tons of scratch
for Ultimate
Spider-Man, so I can see why he would leave that book to go do that, but. Man, I really missed that book.
But 2 trades right now for The Order if you didn't read it.
Only 2 trades, but it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it.
Did the story end, though, at
yes,
the end?
It did end the story.
Okay. All right. And another Matt Fraction book that we really like.
Another Matt Fraction book, which is just every issue has been awesome this year, is Invincible Iron Man. This is the Iron Man book. Don't be confused with that other Iron Man book.
That Iron Man's not in, you mean?
That Iron Man's never in, and it's just really awful. Invincible Iron Man is the best Iron Man book, but it's one of the best Marvel books, period.
I mean, are they going to pull with the old Iron Man book what they did with the Hulk book during World War Hulk, where Incredible Hulk turned into Incredible Herc? And now I think, are they going to turn Iron Man into War Machine? Because they did this whole thing with Iron Man, and then they did a War Machine. So are they just going to turn Iron Man into the War Machine book? Because if they do that, then I'm just not going to read it anymore. No offense to Rhodes, but
No, I think you are right. That's what they are turning into War Machine.
Invincible Iron Man, though, has been a great, great book. And I see here that they're going now Tony Stark, the Dark Reign thing, where finally the Iron Man book's catching up with what's going on in the Secret Invasion storyline.
And let me tell you right now, this Dark Reign tie-in is better than the last 2 one-shots to Dark Reign that came out that Brian Michael Bendis wrote. This thing has an awesome interaction between Norman Osborn. It's pretty much Tony Stark handing the keys over to S.H.I.E.L.D., which is now called Hammer, over to Norman Osborn, and there's some really great stuff in it. And yeah, after this book, he's pretty much going to be a wanted fusion. But they set it up really good. Maria Hill got fired also, so she's now with Iron Man.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool because I'm going to ruin the ending for you, but it's not a big ending. But these 3 are together.
Oh, Pepper, Tony, and Maria.
Maria Hill.
Cool.
Yeah. So
cool.
But no,
this one's going home with me. So okay.
Yeah, which is really sad that like this one book does better with the Dark Reign concept than anything that Brian Michael Bendis has done so far.
And right before this, there was the Spider-Man.
There's a Spider-Man one-shot.
Which was a really well-written Spider-Man story.
Oh, and to go back to one of the best comic books of this year also was Punisher War Journal. I think it came out this year. With the Spider-Man that is a like issue 13, I think, started like a 3-part Spider-Man crossover in Punisher War Journal. Matt Fraction wrote that, too. And that was the best Spider-Man story I'd read up until Mark Waid's Amazing last week.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about Matt Fraction. I mean, his X-Men stuff, I couldn't get into it.
No.
I still can't.
Yeah.
But Iron Man in Punisher War Journal, Punisher War Journal was just an awesome book when Matt Fraction was doing it.
Yeah. No, some writers do take well to certain characters better than others. I can't say that. Bendis writes Spider-Man better than he writes Avengers. I think he's more comfortable with those characters. Fraction writes Tony Stark like no other writer. I mean, he does it even better than I think Ellis did. And I thought Ellis was born the right Iron Man.
Yeah, this actually ends. There's a lot of stuff in here that like actually tie up the whole extremist thing. Finally.
Yeah, that thing's been going on forever.
Yeah.